Hey everyone, and welcome. Have you ever had that feeling where your English is, grammatically correct, but it just doesn't sound quite natural? Well, today we're going to unlock 4 keys that will help you sound way more fluent. Let's dive in.
So, here's the game plan. We've got 4 essential keys to really boost your fluency. We'll kick things off with matching your answers, then we'll look at verbs and their little partners. After that, we'll get into the good stuff, sounding more natural, and finally, we'll make sure you're asking questions like a pro.
Okay, let's be honest. This is a big one, right? Someone asks you a simple yes or no question, and suddenly your brain just freezes. Is it yes, I do, or yes, I have? Don't worry, you are definitely not alone, and we are going to clear this up right now. All right, so our first key is all about matching. I want you to think of it like a really simple game where the question itself basically gives you the perfect answer. You just have to listen for that one little clue word. The rule here? It's actually super simple. If the question starts with do, like do you like coffee, your answer uses do. Yes, I do. Easy. If the question uses have you been to Paris, well, your answer matches with have. Yes, I have. The question is literally handing you the correct word to use. And this is the most common trap I see. The question is, do you have any pets? Now, even though the main verb is have, that first little helping verb is do. So your answer has to match do. It's always no, I don't, and never no, I haven't. That's the key thing to remember. Okay, let's move on to our second key. Some verbs in English are they're a bit lonely. They always need a partner, a specific little word called a preposition, to actually make sense. Think of these as word couples that are always together. You don't just listen music, right? You always listen to music. You don't wait the bus. You wait for the bus. Honestly, the best way to learn these is just as one single chunk, one complete phrase. Listen to, wait for, think about. They just belong together. And check this out. This is why it's so important. Changing that little partner word completely changes the meaning. Look at means you're just using your eyes. Look for means you're searching for something you lost. And look after means to take care of someone or something. 3 different partners, 3 totally different meanings for the exact same verb, look. Okay, key number 3 is probably my favorite. This is the real secret sauce to sounding less like you're reading from a textbook and more like a fluent, natural speaker. We're talking about collocations. These are just words that love to hang out together. So, for example, you could say, I do exercise. And hey, that's grammatically perfect. But a native speaker would probably be more likely to say, I do a workout, or I try to keep fit. That phrase, keep fit, sounds really natural because it implies a whole lifestyle, a regular habit, not just a one-time thing. Here's another great one. I make food. That's totally fine, but it's kind of what a little kid might say. If you want to sound more like a capable adult, you'd say something like, I prepare meals, or I cook dinner. It's such a small tweak, but wow, it makes a huge difference in how you come across. And here are a few more must-haves for your vocabulary. You don't make a break, you take a break. You don't just meet friends, you catch up with friends, which sounds so much more personal. And instead of look at Facebook, you can say you browse social media. These are instant upgrades to your English. Okay, so listen to this description of a daily routine. Everything in it is correct. There are no grammar mistakes, but doesn't it sound just a little bit robotic? A little basic? Now let's listen to that exact same day, but this time we'll sprinkle in those natural collocations. Notice how prepare breakfast and do a workout to keep fit just flows better? And how we browse social media and catch up with friends? See? The information is identical, but it sounds so much more fluent and natural. All right, we are on to our final key. Now, if you really want to take control of a conversation, you have to be able to ask good questions. And in English, that means following a very specific, almost like a fixed recipe for your word order. Here it is. This is the magic formula. I want you to remember QASM. Question word, auxiliary verb, subject, and main verb. Just look at the example. Where is the Q, do is the A, you is the S, and live is the M. Once you get this QASM structure in your head, you can build pretty much any question correctly. So let's look at the mistakes that are so easy to make, forgetting that little helper verb do or mixing up the order. But pay really close attention to this last one. When you use did for a past question, the main verb always stays in its simple basic form. So it's where did you go, not went. Why? Because did is already doing all the work of showing that it's in the past. Phew, we have covered a lot, right? So let's do a super fast recap of the 4 keys that are going to unlock that more natural sounding English for you. First up, always match your short answers. Just listen for that first little helping verb in the question. If you hear do, you answer with do. If you hear have, you answer with have. Simple. Second, remember that verbs and their preposition partners are a team. Learn them together as one unit, like listen to or wait for, and you will never get them mixed up. Third, start upgrading your vocabulary with those natural collocations. So instead of do exercise, try do a workout or keep fit. These are the combinations that are going to make you sound so much more fluent instantly. And fourth, when you're asking questions, just follow the formula. Question word, auxiliary, subject, verb. Just think QASVM, and your questions are going to be perfect every time. And look, the goal here isn't about being perfect. Nobody is. The real goal is clear and natural communication and feeling confident when you speak. Every single time you use one of these keys, you're building that fluency. So please, keep practicing. So I have a question for you. Which one of these keys will you practice first? Are you going to focus on matching your answers this week? Or maybe try to use 3 new collocations in a conversation? Just think about it, because taking that one small step is how you start sounding more natural today. Good luck!